And that is right. Pour yourself a drink. Do hit like, do hit subscribe. Wi-Fi, internet, a lot better this week. And this is, of course, the Raining Rock podcast. I am, of course, the golden one, Ricky Goldman, here with my co-host, Ian. So first of all, how are you, Ian?
I am good. Fed and good.
You're only my wise man because I'm Roman as well as Reigns with my titles in the background.
If you can see them. Before he came on, so apologies for being here, folks.
That's fine. So we're 25 minutes late, but these things happen.
Better late than never, as they say.
And it looks like, yeah, and you're at you are is a lot of Wi-Fi you usually have, so that's good. Like I said, right at the Sky Engineering on Monday, so Wi-Fi here, internet a lot better. But everybody do like and subscribe. 5 away from 360. But we will go to our first thing here, which is, as always, what's cooking at the table. So again, just a 2-minute chat what we've been up to. So really since only last Friday, I've been to the gym. That's it, really. Yeah. Obviously.
Nothing strange. No, nothing strange on my end.
Nothing. You've been doing nothing exciting since last Friday, no?
No. All been a normal week. Like it's been a week since Mania. Can you believe?
Yeah, and we'll get into wrestling talking a little bit here, but watching Mania back, yeah, it's a 2-card match. Two match card, the tag team match, and I suppose, Reigns and Cody, that was only because of Rock, Cena, Taker, Rollins. The rest was like, oh, this should not be on Mania, but whatever. So then, of course, is, as always, so I always, there we go. So movie talk. First of all, got 2 viewers watching to get your comments, questions in. And do not forget the most important thing here, to like and subscribe. So since last Friday, I've only watched 2 films. Baghead, which a decent horror film, and the War of Fears on Netflix. That was okay. But I do know that you've been to watch the new Godzilla vs. Kong at the cinema.
Yes,
so what did you think of it?
That is the equivalent of a WWE movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, because like you have the 2 titans fighting each other, and then you throw in Mothra versus giant monkeys. Then yes, that is the equivalent of Saturday Night WWE movie. And it's popcorn entertainment. Didn't need anything else for plot or story wise. I love the dentist character in it. I thought it was a really good, fun movie.
So, quickly before the questions fall, we're on to 4 viewers now to then get your comments, questions in, like and subscribe. Now, something I've never asked before: the cinema you go to, is it the same price for every movie, or does it differ?
It may differ. It's the Odeon. It's called the Odeon. It used to be UCI.
So, how much was it to watch? Godzilla vs. Kong.
Get back to you. Another film I saw, I rewatched the first Rebel Moon movie.
Roughly, how much was it? How much was it roughly? Was it £5? Was it £1 million? Was it not £1 million?
It was about €29 for 2 people because I took the girlfriend to it. It was about €29 because I took my girlfriend to it. 29 for 2 tickets because I took my girlfriend to it.
So what's that in pounds, and is that the same in English pounds?
I haven't a clue, to be honest. I have not got a clue there.
Let's call it 20 quid. And then snacks,
Yeah.
how much are snacks? Are they much more or less the same?
I got medium popcorn, a bottle of water for about a tenner.
So 30 quid to watch a movie I watched at home for free. And again, I said it's weekly my take on going to the cinema. Why pay for it? A cinema screen doesn't make a movie any better, because I've watched movies at the cinema, mainly with The Rock in, and then watched them at home, and it's not been, a movie wasn't any better because it was at the cinema. It's just the same movie. It's just a bigger screen sat in the dark.
Are you going to reserve the cinema ticket for Rain's movie? Are you going to reserve your cinema ticket when Rain's movie comes out soon?
We'll discuss that. That's in news and headlines.
Another film I watched as well. I rewatched Rebel Moon in anticipation for Rebel Moon 2 this Friday on Netflix. So,
first one was awful.
You'll watch it.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch the second one, but the first one was awful. But very quickly, going back to cinema, I'm very, very lucky I can watch movies illegally. Netflix is legal. But
Netflix is not legal.
But I can watch films either A, still in the cinema, or B, not even in the cinema yet, and that's illegal. But everybody does it, and I'm very lucky I can do that. But that's why I can afford to go to all the wrestling I can go to. So what did you see? So 25 and so 30 quid is like a wrestling ticket to me, and a train ticket. And I'm very, very, very lucky in life to do what I've done. I'm not going to go through my entire life history, but some of the things I've done, so the wrestling I've been to, like going to London, going to Wales, hopefully going to Scotland in June, things like that. I've been very lucky enough to do all that. That's because I've not got a life outside of wrestling, which I'm fine with that. Everything is geared to wrestling. The gym is because, well, the dream is to be like The Rock. It's never going to happen. I realise that because he's very, very healthy.
Well, you could always follow like his diet routines and see what he takes. That's how you could look like him.
No. He's very, very healthy. I eat lots of crap. Pot noodles, crisps, cakes, pizzas.
Some of that I've cut back on.
It takes a lot of dedication. And he lives in the gym, and it's genetics, and he's probably not on steroids, but he's probably on something. So it's a very dedicated life, and I'm never going to look like him, but that's the goal. So my life is kind of just geared to wrestling, but each of their own. Anyway, Lynn, I will play this ad, and then we'll get to some talk. So let me play this. So as always, people, take a good look at, let me find it first. At this. And that is right. Protein Tees Government. If you cannot buy a t-shirt, then at least get it shared. And on my socials on screen right now, take a good look at that. I'm just going to check the comments. I don't think there's any in, but get your comments in, questions, and of course, like and subscribe. But the next thing here, of course, is, because it is time for So I'm not at any show. So my next show is going to be Friday or Saturday. So you'll find out about that next week. I'll quickly discuss that next week. So it is, of course, Wrestling Roundup. We'll take about a minute or two just to go back to last week's Dynamite and talk about the footage shown. I want to talk about a lot more later on. We'll talk about 2 minutes of it here. I've got plenty to say on it later. But It brought in views, but CM Punk's not with the company, so CM Punk's still a draw.
It seems to
He's
be
still
that
a
way. It
draw.
seems to have worked that way.
He's still a draw, and he's not even in the company. Like, I'm going to get to what he said. What Tony Khan said in an interview a little bit here. We'll go over it in the news and headlines. Hilarious, just like, and he wonders why AEW isn't as whatever. But very quickly, your thoughts on the footage? Did you think it was a good idea or not?
No, it wasn't a good idea for one reason mostly, but besides Punk, it kind of paints Tony Khan in a bad light that he can't handle confrontation. It's also sad that he needed a 66-year-old man and the heavyweight champion to break up the fight between Punk and Perry. And it just confirmed everything Punk said.
And we'll go over what that interview again.
Like, it just shows that he's not, it kind of puts a dent in his leadership as the boss of that company.
But you'll still continue to watch. It's like,
but I watch for the wrestling, not for him. I watch for the wrestling.
The garbage, trashy. Again, and I'll discuss this later when we're discussing when you're doing your, and I'll be doing mine on Sunday Dynasty predictions. But the crappy, boring, mindless violence, and I'm not against violent wrestling, but when people are Moxley bleeding every single week and people are going through glass, it's like, no. People usually do violence in wrestling because they can't wrestle. They're hiding the fact they can't.
But you can't say that about John Moxley now. I mean, he won the IWGP Championship and he wasn't even in an Extreme Rules match.
Tell me one good match. Tell me two good matches in WWE. I don't watch in New Japan, so I don't know. So in AEW or WWE, two good matches that Moxley's had, or Dean Ambrose.
In WWE, I could say some of the matches he's had with the likes of Seth Rollins or AJ Styles.
They're very forgettable. They're really forgettable. They're not matches I'm going to go. So, right, and running quickly AEW.
If I was to pick a couple from AEW, probably some of the stuff with Eddie Kingston and some of the matches. The matches he had with Punk were very good.
No, they weren't. So none of those matches would I ever go back and watch. They're all very forgettable. The matches that people to go, yeah, they were decent, and then it's going to get like that. So he's never had a good match in WWE. Or he's had okay ones, but not a match I would go back and watch, or a match that I thought was any good, really. So, but okay, Moxley, that's one person. There's always an exception to the rule. But usually, wrestlers do all this violence because they can't wrestle, so they're hiding the fact. And Moxley, well, he's a garbage, trashy, hardcore wrestler. How many technical matches did he put on? None. Anyway, keeping with AEW, we'll quickly go over Rampage. They're doing it a little bit different this week.
We did the results of Dynamite on Friday. Last Friday.
So a little bit different. So we're doing it a little bit different this week. So usually we do SmackDown, but we do Rampage first. So just a little bit different, changing things up slightly here. So again, based off purely results, I do not watch it. So Orange Cassidy defeated Alex Reynolds from the Dark Order.
Remember them?
Dark Order, as Jim Cornette likes to call them. But your thoughts on that?
An easy win for Cassidy.
Layla Hirsch. How would you pronounce her name? I don't know.
Hirsch.
She returned to get a loss against Julia Hart. Your thoughts?
Well, obviously keep Julia Hart strong going into Dynasty as she's facing Willow Nightingale. That keeps her strong.
Zack Knight from the Knight family, met the guy, great guy. All the Knight family, apart from Paige, I've met. They're all great, but you got to win hang on, one small second. There we go. Against Angelo Parker. Is that?
Oh yes, partner of Daddy Magic. Yeah. Well, they're involved in the story with Saraya, like with Ruby Soho leaving the Outcast with Saraya, and now they bring in Zach Knight, and he attacks Angelo Parker, and now so he wins this match there. Was that like his debut match on Rampage? Because I know I've seen him attack him a few times.
No idea. I don't know. I don't watch. I watch the pay-per-views, and even there, they don't just but I'll discuss later. Like AEW just apart from the matches on the pre-show, I could not think of one good thing that they do. They seem to do everything bad, everything as bad as they can do, they will. It's a failure company, I've said before. They haven't made a penny in 5 years. The ratings have dwindled, and they aren't over in any country. That's bad business. Anyway, and to end Rampage, Jay White was up, Matt Sydal was down.
Easy win for not an easy win, but like a very small win for Jay White. Relegated to Rampage now. Jesus, who did he piss off?
This is
first the match with Billy Gunn, and now this.
This is the whole thing. This is why AEW is where it is. Like, oh God. I was going to discuss this later. I'll discuss it now. But Edge, Adam Copeland, and Sasha Banks from Mercedes Moné have come in and they're going for mid-card titles. That's not good. Even if Edge isn't going to win the AEW title, because he could still go after it. If Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné isn't going to win the women's title, she could still go after it. But they're going after mid-card titles. Tony Khan's paid Mercedes Moné $10 million. She hasn't debuted yet, but she's in a feud for a mid-card title.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how's that good business?
It's to reunite the old feud that she had with Nightingale, because Nightingale was one of the last people she faced in New Japan before she got injured.
And who cares about that? Who knows? Who knows Willow Nightingale? Not one person. Not one person. Outside the wrestling world, nobody. And another problem with AEW, like Tony Khan will have Wrestler A, Wrestler B. Wrestler A will be someone off the indies, and Wrestler B are on the roster, and you expect the guy or girl you never heard of to beat a star in AEW? Of course they're not going to beat them. And then Tony Khan wonders why he is where he is, mainly because he caters to a certain audience and he doesn't want to grow, because he hasn't grown in 5 years. It's like, see, wrestling is very unique and I can't really compare it to anything else, but I'll try to. So a very quick analogy, a very quick thing for you. It's like a pub. So the pub is the wrestling and the customers are the audience. And the pub is, and I'm not talking some, and I'm not talking, that's what's attracting the people. Now, I'm not talking of massive pub in London that everybody knows and it's really popular. I'm talking a pub in the middle of nowhere that does okay, but not the best. And they're selling a drink, and that's all. And they've got other drinks, but they don't matter. This drink is what they care about, and they rave about it, and they go on about it, and on about it, and on about it. And that drink is pulling in a third of customers. The violence that AEW does weekly pulls in a third of their audience. Tony Khan doesn't want to grow because he hasn't grown. The company had to cancel 2 shows. Was it Dark and Elevation or something? Like in 5 years, they've had to cancel 2 shows. Again, bad business. Anyway, for the rating for Rampage, oh God, bronze. What's your rating?
Bronze.
So SmackDown. So Cody Rhodes came out, and I was right about Cody. No one wanted to listen. His promos are the same. His match quality, I presume he'll face AJ Styles at Backlash.
Definitely.
His match quality will be the same. So nothing has changed putting the title on Cody. Anybody that thought it would are stupid. I told people it wouldn't change, and it hasn't changed, because what did he actually say on SmackDown? Nothing. And the SmackDown after Mania is when you hope that most people will be watching, because that's the new season of WWE, even though they don't have off seasons. So that's a new season of WWE. All the big things, the debuts, the returns, all them happen on the Raw and SmackDown after Mania. After that, SmackDown just goes back to what else. I'm not saying SmackDown's bad. It's great. NXT's great. But after that Raw, SmackDown after Mania, it's just back to what they were. So SmackDown should have the most eyes on SmackDown after Mania, should be the most watched SmackDown, unless The Rock's on, or Brock Lesnar, or somebody else, or Reigns, somebody like that. It should be the most watched SmackDown of the year. And we'll get onto something later that, well, okay, we'll get onto something later. But triple threat action, fresh action, LA Knight defeating Bobby Lashley and Santos Escobar in a triple threat match. He will meet the winner of the main event next week. We'll get into the main event later. Cool for LA Knight. As long as they keep him off the microphone. As long as they keep him off the microphone, I don't mind LA Knight. Yeah, what's your thoughts about this?
I thought he was the right call to go, and I was going with him or Lashley until the rest of Ligaro came out. But no, it was the right call to go with LA Knight on this one. Maybe they're going to add Bobby Lashley into this feud with Ligaro now. We're going to put Pride versus Ligaro.
Solo Sequoia, Jimmy Uso, Paul Heyman in the ring.
Oh.
Now, two things. One, Jimmy. So we'll say what happened, and then I'll get to my point. So Tama Tonga, great debut for Tama Tonga, but he's not related to them, so he don't really. I love the bloodline. They are living on fumes because he's nothing to do with the bloodline. He's not. Neither's The Rock, but The Rock is The Rock, the biggest movie star in the world. But Tama Tonga's nothing to do with the bloodline. Tama Tonga and Solo beat up Jimmy. Now, Jimmy got beat up because he lost. Solo's lost for 4 months. What's his punishment?
That is a good point as well, but this whole...
We're supposed to just forget that, though. Your thoughts on this?
I loved it. I thought it was done very well to perfection and all. Like him being the father of Haku, and of course Rikishi and Haku used to be a tag team in WWE for a while, so he is good. And now there's more hype to it now because we've got Jay Fatu coming up very soon, and there's rumors that Hikuleo, his contract with New Japan is running out in June, so more likely he will get signed, but he has been a target for WWE for a while, so he will get signed. So we are looking into a bloodline civil war when Roman decides to come back, and more likely with Jay, I'd say Jay will be a target for this new bloodline group, and then we get our bloodline civil war, and that will more likely lead to a possible War Games match where we have Solo, Jay, Hikuleo, and Tama Tonga versus the Usos, Roman Reigns, possibly Sami Zayn as well, if they reunite the original bloodline.
Maybe highly doubtful, but maybe throw The Rock in there, but The Rock's not doing War Games.
No, I could say
unless you have him as a heel and he saunters down and he's like, "Don't touch me," and he does very little and he gets the winning pinfall, but
oh no, what if The Rock is trying to be the new tribal chief, and except he's not wrestling, so he's using the other members of the bloodline to lead his little war? Like, you could do this bloodline civil war at a War Games match at Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden, and then wrap up the storyline with Reigns versus The Rock if they go ahead with that at WrestleMania 41. But like, I'm looking forward to what they do. I think it gave the Bloodline a new shot in the arm, a shot of adrenaline in the arm that they kind of needed, because after SummerSlam they kind of dried up for a bit until The Rock got in, and now with this addition, re-addition of Tonga, possible Jay Fatu, possible Hikuleo, you've got more eyes on the story now.
And the other thing is this, and if Cody's the ratings puller, no, he wasn't, because this pulled in more ratings. Cody is the least drawing world champion since 2020.
We don't know if he's the least. Hang on.
No, he is. He is. No, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Because I'm going to get to my point here in a second of how I know. Well, I don't know personally, but that is the first time in 3 years, 4 months that the world champion got outdrew by something else. The video that I shared to the group yesterday. So okay, well, 2 things. One, having a full-time champion isn't a good thing, because Damian Priest does not feel above anybody else on Raw. He just feels, he's got a belt. Cody doesn't feel above anybody else on SmackDown, because again, peeling back the curtain, they don't really win. Cody's not really champion. It's written, you're going to win. So what's the difference between me with my title and Cody with his? The difference is some writers written him to win. Belts are just a prop. They don't really win. They don't really lose. In the world of wrestling, they do. In reality, not at all. So Cody does anybody, which he should. The video that I shared to the group yesterday, did you watch it with Chris Featherstone?
I saw the picture. I saw a video.
Did you watch the video?
Which video was it about? I saw a picture.
I sent the video. He was talking about the AEW footage.
Oh, I didn't see that. No, I only saw the picture you sent me about who drew the most from this week's SmackDown.
I sent it in the group yesterday, but okay, I'll quickly explain. Chris Featherstone, great guy, PMP, which I'll always support.
I think I know it now. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the video you sent me. I know the one now.
I wish them all. I wish them all. I wish PMP and Chris Featherstone all the luck in the world. I want him to grow. I'll always support him. The PMP is in the description. He forever will be. Great guy. This is not just some random mark on the internet. This is a guy that's been watching wrestling for I think he said 30 years. He works for Sportskeeda. He's done media for WWE. He's done media for WrestleMania and SummerSlam. He's wrote many articles for wrestling websites, sport websites. You probably read articles in the past, I would imagine. I didn't know he's written them, I would imagine. He's been around a long time. So this is not some mark on the internet. This is a guy that knows what he's talking about. And we very rarely disagree. And he said what I said. Cody feels the same. His promos are the same. It's come out, whoa, power off twice, whatever city they're in, what you want to talk about, then either he'll talk about an opponent he's just beaten or he's gonna face, and then that's it. Boring. So nothing's changed. Nothing's gonna change. And this thing of they've been a week. If he's not going to change now, he's not going to change at all.
Well, he's only just come off a big feud, so you have to really have patience with him. Like, he's now officially moved to SmackDown, so now they can focus on what they're going to do with him and possibly AJ Styles leading into Backlash. So you just have to have patience with him.
So his promo's going to get a whole lot better, are they?
We just have to see what they do with him and AJ.
I know for a fact his promos will not get better. And to make Cody Talrin interesting, he's going to face a guy that hasn't won a big match. And I don't consider it the match on SmackDown he won big at all match in a year. And that's with AJ interesting, Styles, is it? Who does AJ Styles?
No, go on.
Who does Who does AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes pull in? Nobody knows who they are. Outside of the wrestling world, no one knows who either of those are. Who's it pulling in?
They're pulling in people who are wrestling fans, who are Cody and AJ fans, who are probably long-term AJ fans.
So they're watching anyway. But it's not going to put more eyes on the product and bring more people because people don't know who they are. You've gone from The Rock.
That's who they're aiming for. And at the moment, we can't say about The Rock and all this because The Rock is not here and neither is Roman Reigns. And plus, there's a lot of history between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles as well. One example, right. AJ Styles, hang on, me first. AJ Styles faced Dusty Rhodes in TNA. Second of all, the year AJ Styles came in 2016 and in 9 months of his first year, beat John Cena and then won the WWE Championship. Cody was gone from WWE and following his own quest. And now they're back here now. And look, AJ Styles has admitted recently he has not got much left in the tank. He knows his body is giving out. So this could be his last shot because he probably might retire after Backlash.
Right, and Cody versus pulls nobody in. It's not growing the audience in one bit. Again, I will use what I always say. But down the street in any country, saying name me a wrestler, they ain't saying AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. They're going to say The Rock. They're going to say John Cena, etc., etc. But we've gone from The Rock and Roman Reigns to it being niche again. Cody Rhodes is just making it niche. AJ Styles, Damian Priest, niche product. But it doesn't, not growing the product. Doesn't grow the product.
But either way, without those, Raw and SmackDown are still selling out arenas and they're still drawing in a big audience. Despite who's there, they're still making a profit. They're still selling out. They're still attracting. They're still getting an audience.
WWE is selling out, not Cody Rhodes, not Damian Priest. WWE on a whole, they'll always do well. But none of these people, they're making it niche. None of these people are growing the audience. You've gone from Rock, Reigns to one star, and that one star is Logan Paul. Outside of WWE.
So that one star is Cody Rhodes.
He's not a star. Nobody knows who he is. He doesn't grow the audience. We know he doesn't grow the audience because he didn't. Cody Rhodes is inside WWE, not a star. Right? Inside of it, he knows who Cody Rhodes is. Anyway, Bron Breakker completely ran through Cameron Grimes. Okay.
Look, he's only just started now, but he's only just still on the rise now. But apparently, they might call Baron Corbin up to continue the Wolf Dogs, which I'm happy with because they're a great team.
Yeah. Bayley came out, then Tiffany Stratton did, and then Naomi did. Cool. This led to a match, which Naomi picked up the win. So it's now making sense why she's come back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Bayley Naomi match now. That should be good. Like Tiffany Stratton held her own. I could see her getting a push in this new, like getting her up to Money in the Bank now. I'd say I could see her being this year's Women's Money in the Bank.
And also really quickly, Triple H wants to say, it's a brand new era. He's still relying on The Rock, who's as cool as it is that The Rock's back. It's still the past. Anyway, let's move on. Women's tag team action. Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair gave their loss to Chelsea Green and Piper Niven.
I could definitely see Bianca and Jay taking on the Kabuki Wars.
It was cool to see Jade in action on SmackDown, so that was cool.
I could see them winning the tag titles from the Kabuki Warriors and building to possibly a match at WrestleMania 41 next year.
Right, damn, that's a long way away. And to end SmackDown, another triple threat match, and more fresh action. So AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, and coming out on top, AJ Styles. So you get in Styles versus Knight. next week. So what was the point of it being at Mania?
Well, you have to give LA Knight his first WrestleMania win. That would be the point there. And
Who
AJ
cares?
Styles, no. And look, at the end of the day, like I said, AJ Styles is obviously coming into his last years, and he's admitted that he's coming into his last years at the age of 46. He obviously gets one more shot, and then he's more likely going to retire after that.
LA Knight getting a Mania win, cool for him, but again, he's not growing the product. So, Anyway, yeah, nice, decent SmackDown. Also, the Tama Tonga stuff was a surprise. I'll say silver to gold. What's your rating?
I'm going to say gold for the Bloodline stuff and the 2 triple threats.
Quickly level up. Tavian Heights defeated Uriah Connors in women's tag team action. Blair Davenport, she was on level up. Damn. And Stevie Turner went over Coralie Bright and Kendall Gray and Eddie Thorpe. That seems to have been unfortunate. Lost in the shuffle. He got a win on level up, and he went and he knocked off Dion Lennox. Silver, I'll say.
I'll kind of say silver for Eddie Thorpe, because I haven't seen him in a while, not since that feud with Dijak.
Collision.
No, keep going and just turn on the lights. Hang on.
Right, Collision. And he sat in the dark like the Undertaker. Just 1 second. Yeah, Collision. So there were normal matches, and then I've gone off. It's off screen. There was normal matches, and then there was Battle of the Belts. The titles never changed.
Oh yeah, that was on stage as well.
Anyway,
that was the first Battle of the Belts. Actually, interesting. A little pointless fact. That was the first Battle of the Belts they did, where there was no AEW belts on the line. It was the FTW title and the Ring of Honor titles.
Well, that's in ratings. It doesn't just.
I've never been a fan of Battle of the Belts. I don't think it's. Anyway, we'll go through Collision.
Anyway, let's go through Collision. So, yeah, House of Black in 6-man tag team action won against Matt Seidel, Action Andretti, and Dante Martin.
Walk in the park for their warm-up for their 6-man tag match at Dynasty against Edge, Eddie Kingston, and Jay Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe. Jay's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, sorry, Mark Briscoe.
I'll say his second name because I can't pronounce it first. So Shia Bata saw win against Lee Moriarty.
That was to make up against their loss on Dynamite with Jera Hook and Shibata against the Enterprise, Ting Enterprises. I can't remember the name. Sorry.
Shane Taylor Enterprises.
Shane Taylor Enterprises. Yes, that's right.
I don't know.
Shane Taylor Promotions. Yes.
Daniel Garcia. He was a winner against Echo.
Oh, that would have been. That's not Daniel Garcia. Still continuing his winning ways. He'll be on Dynamite later, teaming with Pac and Penta against the Elite.
I believe this was a match for, I don't know, Battle of the Belts maybe. Title was on the line. AZM. Sorry, who's that? It's lost against defending champion Tony Storm.
That was obviously a warm-up match for a match against Thunder Rosa this Sunday.
Who's ZM?
Not too familiar with her now.
And this is why AEW is where it is. You bring in some, and it's cool for the wrestler that's been on the indies. It's cool for them. Great, cool. for the company, bringing in some unknown person, of course they're going to lose. Yeah. Tag team. Yeah, it was tag team action. So your losers were Powerhouse Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher, but taking the win was Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli.
That will obviously be continuing a little warmer for Danielson and Claudio, because Claudio faces Ospreay on Dynamite tonight. That's going to be a banging match. And then we have Danielson versus Ospreay at Dynasty. So that's obviously...
It won't.
But obviously will Ospreay...
It won't. It won't. What Ospreay versus Claudio, and guess how many ratings it's going to pull? 0. And very quickly, talking about that match, Joey Moss, what a fucking mark. He lives in. I also openly talk about what problems WWE. Well, they don't have many problems at the moment, but I openly spoke about what problems they've had. They haven't been perfect in the past. But he goes on like AW's best. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Hook retained against Shane Taylor.
And he was able to sort and then he's having a big meeting with Jericho tonight with Taz moderating it.
And also on the subject of Hook, he might be leaving, so he might be possibly into WWE. So if AW was so perfect, why wouldn't he want to stay?
Well, he may seek outside options.
Like
he might not go to the WWE. He might go to he might wrestle on the Indies for a couple of years. But like, if he went to the WWE, yeah, he'd gain a lot from Shawn Michaels. And from all the other.
Why would he not want to stay in AW? If AW is so perfect, why would he not want to stay there? Why are the Hardys wanting to leave? If AW is this band of perfection, why did Shawn Spears?
Matt Hardy's already left.
Shawn Spears. See, I know Jay Cargill, Lexis King, Shawn Spears.
Andrade.
It's a different matter. Andrade. So 4 people. If AW was so perfect, they wouldn't leave.
Well, the more they could bring in, more people get lost in the shuffle. Like, especially now bringing in people like Okada and Ospreay and Monet, more are going to get lost in the shuffle.
That's because Tony Khan, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, call him what you like, hit the nail on the head. Tony Khan is a matchmaker, not a. There was a AEW title defending. It was the continental title. No, sorry, the international title, because Roderick Strong kept it against Rocket Romero.
Yes, that's right. And then Roderick Strong attacks Kyle O'Reilly, which sets up Strong versus O'Reilly at Dynasty.
And your final match on Collision,
Athena, formerly Ember Moon.
Is that Ember? Thank you. She kept her title around her waist against Red Velvet.
Formerly one of the baddies that was once led by Jade Cargill.
Apparently, Athena, what is she bloody called? Ember Moon is 50-0, so that's cool, I suppose. But I'll be generous and say a bronze plus, but that's me being generous. Your rating for Collision?
I'll say probably a bronze as well. Should we get to Raw, because I really want to talk about what happened with Rhea Ripley and what this can lead to and all.
So yeah, we'll start off Raw. So I'm very unfortunate. Well, slightly for the best, because that's how they got the title offer. I don't think she was losing. Liv Morgan got beating her. So in a way, it's for the best. That's how they've got the title offer. 380 days. Wow. So really unfortunate. You got Adam Pearce.
It was just a shame how it had to end.
So Adam Pearce in the ring, Rhea Ripley vacates the title, Liv Morgan came out. It's cool. Rhea Ripley's a star, and I've never said she's not a star. She's a star in WWE. She's a massive star. 380 days as champion. Outside of WWE is where she's not a star. She's a nobody outside of WWE. She ain't going to be the first name that people mention. But very, very, horrible for Rhea Ripley. Your thoughts on this?
It was a shame like it had to go. Like she had like an impressive reign, and she became a megastar now because of that. But like the best defense, probably most recent, obviously the stuff with Becky. Like every other like she rarely defended the title a lot because of everything that she was doing with the Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio. I was thinking now she would probably drop the belt to Liv at Backlash, but now this injury's come away. The surprising thing was there was a double turn because Rhea was so over with the crowd, like you could hear them chant, "This is bullshit, this is bullshit." Then Liv comes out and she receives a massive boo, and she reminds people of what Rhea did to her back in July. And now, like, are they going to go ahead with this Liv heel turn now is the question. And Liv also mentioned that she's going to take away everything from Rhea. So does Liv make a move on Dom Dom? I want to see where that goes, because one thing that I saw, one thing that took my attention as well was a tweet from Rhea's partner, Buddy Matthews, who says that he's going to help Mommy get back to it. I was just wondering now, like, say if Liv takes away Dom from Rhea, does Buddy Matthews come back? And they feud with both Buddy and Dom. I'd be interested in that. But now next week on Raw, they're going to be having a match. I don't know how they're doing it. They're going to have sort of match decide the champion.
We'll get to that in news and headlines that kind of falls over of the QR code. We'll discuss the QR code and what it's all about. And I think that's so the QR code.
Oh, I know what it's about. We all know what it's about.
You'll have an array of different people. Or people that don't care. They'll just watch wrestling and have zero idea what it's about. You'll have people that will notice it and go, "Oh, what was that?" You'll have people that will look into it. You'll have people like me. And thanks to Wrestling Days, a shout out to him, because he really looked into what it all meant. And it's like if you look into it, very interesting. Liv beating Rhea at Backlash, hell no. Ugh. As much as I do. Anyway, we had a return on Raw, and it was none other than Andy brought back his original music. None other than Sheamus. Sheamus is back. Your fellow Irishman, your fellow countryman, and he defeated and knocked off.
He got a lot of body shaming from people. He got a lot of body shaming from people from some of the pictures, because some people thought he was looking like he put on weight when he hadn't. He got a lot of body shaming from nasty people out there.
Not all of us look like The Rock at nearly 52, which I just think is incredible. Look how The Rock's look at Mania, just at nearly 52. Like, Jesus, wow. Just again, he worked very hard for it, and he's super dedicated. But a good return for Sheamus. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was good to see him back now. Hopefully he's back in the IC title picture now going forward, or let's see what happens, because there's rumors of him and Cody at Clash the Castle.
Oh, I know he's not from. I know he's not from Scotland, but he's not from Wales either, and he got cheered there. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think Sheamus will get you. Anyway, Sheamus is entertaining. Cody just isn't. But moving on, Adam Pearce in the ring again. Triple H came out. Awesome Truth came out. Triple H saying that Awesome Truth won the biggest tag team match ever. No, your biggest tag team match ever was Rock and Reigns versus Cody and Rollins. You're not going to get bigger than The Rock. We'll kind of just say what happened, and we'll discuss further the tag titles, but brand new tag team titles unveiled. So your thoughts about this?
I like the new look now. It's definitely better than the Raw look now. So like we were expected to look like that from the way the world title and the women's world title are now going forward. So they'll all be world titles going forward on Raw. Unless they all get
down. Following, I usually don't like triple threat matches as a rule, because certainly single triple threat matches, you've got a third man out the ring just waiting for their spot. Tag team was much better, you got more people. This was good. DIY coming out on top. defeating Creed brothers, who've been certainly lost in the show. And New Day. So yeah, DIY getting a title shot that would have done it Backlash this week.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was thinking DIY would go because of all the comments they've had with R-Truth calling them DX and all. But as far as the Creed brothers goes, I think they're going to be getting out of shuffle very soon. I'll explain that later.
Maybe. Well, yeah. We'll very quickly later discuss the draft, and who I would send. We'll very quickly go through the roster, but I'd happily send them back to NXT. Well, I don't know. Anyway, speaking of DIY and the way, you had Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell with a win this week, and taking the loss was Ivy Nell and Maxine Dupree.
Well, I'd seen Indy's now starting to see the ways of Candice, and I can see soon Ivy Nile turning on Maxine Dupree, and I'll get to that later. But no, it was a very quiet. It kind of felt a bit down after the great triple threat tag match now, so it kind of felt a little down. I don't know if a lot of people cared.
Yeah, well, I suppose I think the 3 hours do rag, and I think it's hard to keep.
Yeah.
Raw's far better than what it was. It's far better than when Vince had it.
But
I do think the 3 hours do.
Because there's been a lot of focus on pro wrestling, just straight to the point pro wrestling.
I think that 3 hours really do drag. Anyway, Andrade, it now makes sense back like Naomi. He got a win, and the win it was against, in a fresh match, Dominic Mysterio.
Very fun match, a very lucha style match. And then you had JD McDonough come out, and now you have Ricochet come out. I could see a bit of change coming in the Judgment Day, especially with Rhea coming in and what happened during the Jey Uso Finn Balor match that we'll get to in a bit.
More women's tag team action, so they got a win this week. They might have lost on SmackDown, but they won this week, and it was Chelsea Green and Piper Niven defeating Kaden Carter and Kitana Chance.
More showcasing for the women's tag team. This was better than the Candice match. Now, I'll give it that. I think there was a bit more to it, but it was very short.
Yeah. Moving on to Cody Rhodes again. And what did he actually really say in this promo? He mentioned, now, I will give it to him, he's smart. He mentioned The Rock, and people are going to go, oh, did you hear what he said about The Rock? But The Rock's not going to be there for 3 months. So why even talk about him? He's not there until August.
They're obviously trying to keep an eye on people getting ready for whenever we see Cody versus Rock, if it's at SummerSlam or WrestleMania. Could we see a Could we see a blood style match at it?
So if it's Mania, Cody's having it a year away.
Well, what do you do with Roman if it's Cody versus Rock?
I would not have Cody as champion for a year. I think he loses it this year. He's not a draw. And I'm not saying they're going to take the title off him because of that. But he's none of money. The whole goal of a champion, the world champion, is to draw money and draw ratings, which he does neither. So, but he said a first blood match, which is very, very hardcore. And Cody is definitely not hardcore. He's like a senior. He's there for the kiddies. Yeah. So how does this make sense? Now, do you have The Rock lose that, but he didn't get pinned, and then you do a return match and The Rock wins? Reigns spears The Rock, and you do a heel Rock versus the title at Mania?
Or
you want headline? You want a headline? The Rock wins.
Ooh, I don't know, if you'd have The Rock win. I think, because The Rock already got the pin on Cody at WrestleMania, so you have to have Cody get some form of redemption for that pin and for the beatdown that happened during WrestleMania. And then you can start whatever plans you have. You get The Rock involved in the Bloodline Civil War, and you see which side he's on, and that can build towards Reigns versus Rock at WrestleMania.
Something that Chris Featherstone said, so I'm not taking credit for this, but this would be so cool. You have The Rock win Money in the Bank, because Money in the Bank has been very for years. That would definitely, the last time it would have been Brock had it. It would add star power to the match. The Rock does what Brock did. Whoever's, you could have Kevin Owens. It's in Canada. He'd be the favorite. He's reaching for the briefcase. If you smell, out he comes, walking slowly to the ring. Says to everybody,
would The Rock be able to climb a ladder now? Not going to be breathing heavily. Would The Rock be able to climb a ladder?
Says to everybody, don't touch me or I'll fire you. Really slowly, taking it in, climbs a ladder, gets a briefcase, just let's say all soaking, and then says, I challenge Cody at SummerSlam. He's probably not going to win it. I don't think you give it to The Rock. You want to talk about heel heat? Oh, that would be heel heat. Because I think that Money in the Bank hasn't really meant anything for years. Like, I would have the Money in the Bank cash in for any title rather than just the world title, because you put every champion on notice, but whatever. So Cody brought out Jey Uso, building momentum heading into Backlash in a couple of weeks as he defeated Finn Balor.
For Cody, it's about they just want to make Jey the top face on Raw, since now Cody's officially moved to SmackDown. But I'd give that to Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
I like Jey now, but it's all about Jey. Yeah, it was a fine match. Now, the one thing I took was the ending of it, because then you had Damian Priest come out to confront him, and then he holds up the title. Then McDonough and Dominic attack him. Jey rolls out. He kicks Dom. He escapes through the crowd, smacks JD, and you see Damian Priest look up there. From the looks of things, Priest wants to do this on his own, so they're obviously planning. This is the separation of the Judgment Day, because now Rhea is out of action, so Priest could be going soon, which you could start leading to something probably for both Priest and Finn Balor, because Balor was talking about Priest and him going back for the tag titles, but he wants him to more focus on. Priest seems to more want to focus on his own reign, so we're obviously seeing the desecration of the Judgment Day, depending what happens with Priest going forward, because after he deals with Jey Uso, he's obviously going to be facing Drew McIntyre at Scotland.
I think he loses. I think Drew has a 2-month title reign. So he loses it straight back to Drew, which is like, ugh. It'll be good for Drew to get you no matter what. It's in Scotland, he'll get you no matter what.
There's still Drew
Punk, though. You Drew Punk at SummerSlam. But Drew gets you away in Scotland. But I think Priest have a 2-month title reign and lose it straight back to Drew.
The interesting thing about Drew is that he's only got a few more weeks left of his contract. So if his contract runs out at Clash of Castle and he wins the belt, does he do what Punk did at Money in the Bank in 2011 and leave through the crowd, making people think he's leaving and going somewhere else with the belt?
Possibly. But for me, Priest, like I've said, he does not feel head and shoulders above the rest. He does not feel any different after Mania. He's just holding a belt. Like, so a good main event to end Raw in a couple of line. Connecticut's own, Montreal's own. Sami Zayn retained Chad Gable. And also the big news: Chad Gable turning heel, destroying Sami Zayn. So yeah, your thoughts on that?
I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with Chad Gable on this, because I think it's well overdue. Like, I think he could be a heel like way Kurt Angle was. And plus, another thing I took for it, like he made a tweet about it. Someone who did respond to it, where you talked about earlier, was the Creed brothers. So could we be seeing a new Team Angle 2.0, a new American Alpha, or a new Diamond Mine if you decide to throw Ivy Nile in the mix with them as well? So I'm looking forward to seeing because like Chad Gable trained with the Creed brothers leading into the match with Sami Zayn, so I think they would work well as a faction.
Gable helped
Sami
and
Zayn.
the Free and Akira Tozawa. So
yeah, I think like he breaks
Chad
away
Gable
from them.
helped Akira. Yeah.
Yeah, break away from them,
So,
have him work with the Free and Ivy Nile, and bring back Diamond Mine or a new American Alpha Academy.
Yeah, we'll see. So I'll say silver to gold. I thought it was a good Raw, but next week you take out Triple H, who definitely had star power. Rhea Ripley had star power. Is Raw going to be as good? Let's wait and see. But for this one,
well, we've got a lot going into next week's Raw anyway, because we have a tag title match, and we have a match for the new women's for who will be the new champion to replace Rhea. So let's just we have a tag match. JD.
Doesn't product anyway. Your rating for this week's Raw?
Oh, I gotta say, Gold. I did enjoy it now myself. Only little complaint. I didn't enjoy that women's tag match with Candice and Indy because it kind of felt no one cared after the triple threat tag match. But no, it's still a good show. I'm enjoying what they're doing at the moment with Raw. So let's get to NXT.
So last night's NXT, very good NXT. We kicked off with wrestling, no promo. We kicked off with wrestling. Noam Dar with a big win over Dijak. Noam Dar kills it every single week in NXT.
Like I love both men. Like I was going with Dijak to build a bit of momentum when the next time he faces Oba Fleming, but surprisingly they gave it to Noam Dar.
Yeah. I was shocked as well, yeah. But like I said, Noam Dar killed it every single week, and yeah, the metaphor. So Jakari Jackson, Lash Legend, or they're getting a push because of Noam. So yeah, women's action saw Lola Vice very quickly defeat Ruka, but the bigger story here is Natalya on the Titantron, and in two weeks we're getting women's underground. Wow, your thoughts on all of this?
Oh, that's going to be something. Like, hopefully, he'll have a lot of work to top the Eddie Thorpe Dijak underground match. We're also like Ruka lost because of Blair Davenport. So next week at Spring Break, we're going to get a beach bash match.
A beach brawl, whatever that's going to be. It's like a street fight match, but it'll be
but with beach equipment, like
weapons from the beach,
chairs and umbrellas and all. And I've said
Beach Ball Mania.
Oh yeah,
Beach Ball Mania.
Yeah, Beach Ball Mania.
which was so disrespectful to when they did it. It was.
I remember when they did it at SummerSlam in 2017. Remember when they did it at SummerSlam 2015 and Cesaro came and ripped it up during that tag match when him and Sheamus took on Seth and Dean?
It was like it's the fans having fun, but like so disrespectful. And when they do the Mexican waves, it's just like, we don't care what's happening in the ring. We're just going to have fun. And it's like, ugh. Anyway, Ridge Holland's retirement lasted all of 2 weeks, but he went over Walking Wild.
Yeah, that was an easy win there. Sean Spears was watching him. He apparently produces some of the matches now for NXT.
Does he? Wow.
Yeah, he's producing matches for NXT. Pete Dunne is producing matches for Speed.
Speed in a second here with one match this week, but with Speed, like, can people really get over in 3 minutes? Great concept, and WWE proving to be the godmode kings of social media, and they're not clowns on social media like bloody Tony Khan. But can people really get over in 3 minutes? I don't know. The family came out, and then No Catch Quarter Crew did. They brawled. You get a 6-man match next week. Yeah, this was all right. The
one thing you actually keep an eye on is the Moses that Damon Kemp said, like, the family reminded them that they did them a favor by getting rid of Drew Gulak. Now, Drew Gulak has actually been removed from a lot of appearances on NXT because of what's going on with the Ronda Rousey allegations.
I did notice that, and I thought, How they're talking about Drew Gulak.
Yeah, and like
so
he's
interesting.
More treatment.
Very interesting. Javon Evans, this kid at 19 is the future.
Oh, he had a banger of a match with Ilya Dragunov.
Fantastic match against Ilya. Came up short and lost, but he put on a great performance. 19, Jesus Christ. Talented.
Makes you wish you were 19 again.
He's definitely the future.
Makes you wish you were 19
definitely
again.
The future, getting a match. Well, I wouldn't want to go and wrestle or anything, but match with Ilya Dragunov and match with the champion, and yeah, he came close but lost. So yeah, yours on this one.
Oh, it was a banger, absolute banger. This is probably that's Ilya's second last match, because whatever happens next week, this will be his last, because he could get drafted. He's going to get drafted.
Fine week, I think Trick wins, but we'll get to Trick here in a second. Women's action saw Thea Hale. Thea Hale, she wasn't successful this week, but with a roll up, Tatum Paxley Walsh builds momentum heading into next week, into the triple threat. You're probably going to have Tatum pinned, maybe, I would imagine. But yeah, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is a hard one to call for the triple threat next week. Like, because does Roxanne drop if she's getting drafted? Does Lyra get a second win, or does she retain and just appears on whatever brand she's on and NXT while holding the belts? Or do you give it back to Lyra?
Is it too soon for Tatum to win?
Probably not. No, I don't think she should win. I think if it was to win, I'd give it back to Lyra.
I think Roxanne probably retains, but AOP, that haven't thrilled me since coming back, they got a quick win against Idris and Nothing Elite Blade.
Walk in the park for them. The walk in the park.
With then action, singles action, you're going to see your main event. It was the main event before the main event, your match before the main event, which saw Ivar and Josh at it and up. Coming up,
it was meat on meat
as your winner.
Meat on meat. That was what it was. Meat on meat. You don't give me 5-star matches. You give me meat. Big meaty men with their big arms and big chests.
Which Reigns has never said. Anyway,
Iggy, by the way.
And let's swiftly move on to the main event. A steel cage on NXT. Trick Williams with his hand raised high in a fairly quick main event.
Whoop that trick.
In a fairly quick main event, as he defeated again Carmelo Hayes, building momentum into next week, which I think he does indeed win the title.
Yeah, and he's gonna whoop that trick.
So my rating for this week's NXT, silver to gold, probably is similar to Raw, I think.
I'm going to say gold as well. I enjoyed that main event. For the main event and the opening match.
And just one match on Speed. So if you're planning to watch it, just kind of go off for a couple of seconds and then come back. There was just one match, and that was Ricochet advancing in the tournament, and he defeated J.D. McDonough. Again, like I said, I like the concept, so I'll say a bronze plus, and I like the Ricochet getting a push. So yeah, cool. So your quick rating for that?
I'm going to say bronze as well, but I see Ricochet winning that whole tournament. He's definitely someone that suits Speed.
So I'll play another ad, and then Ian's. Not AEW, by the way. There's plenty to hate, so if there's stuff to hate, I wouldn't hate it. Anyway, let me play this, and then, yeah.
To never miss a second, never miss an upload, never miss anything I do, and never miss when I go live doing watch parties and my brand new podcast, Live Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. The Reigning Rock Podcast. And me on Facebook, Ricky J. Pete. Whilst there, search on Facebook, WWA World Wrestling Alliance. Follow me on X at Ricky Goldmans. Head over to Pro Wrestling Tees and search Goldmans1 and head over to my YouTube channel. Search, like and subscribe to the People's Wrestling Channel. That once again, the People's Wrestling Channel.
That is right. All my socials, you saw it on video there, and you've seen a picture. Like, subscribe, get this shared, do all of that. So let me play this, and then we'll get some predictions going on here. So, of course, next is, so if people want to know my predictions, I will be doing a watch along on Sunday. Ugh. But yeah, you can tune in then and find out mine. Another 10,000 matches made because it's AEW. But so, of course, AEW pay-per-view preview predictions. So my quick thoughts going into Dynasty, nothing is going to grow. There's nothing on the card that's going to grow the audience. All of it could easily be on a Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, and none of it I think, oh wow, this match is happening. Like, will they be good? Yes, but no storyline going into it. Anyway, so first match is with the International Championship on the line. Kyle O'Reilly challenges Roderick Strong. I'm going to
say Roderick Strong on this
one. Is it Roderick Strong or is Kyle O'Reilly?
Roderick Strong, definitely Roderick Strong.
Poor Adam Cole, he's been demoted to just a random 6-man tag team action, but, God, Adam Cole under Edge, and his tag team partners, Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe, will House of Black. Who's
I'm going to say the Radar Chicken Coop.
Oh God, that is an awful, 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 awful name. All right, please, God. See, AEW's laughable, but also damn annoying at times. Like again, and I've said this in the past, I live and breathe. Right? It's not good. It's not. I'm a WWE lifer, but I've been to New Japan, Impact, Ring of Honor, GCW versus TNT, but it was GCW. I've been to countless indie promotions. So for me to not like AEW, damn, they've got to be better. Willow Nightingale is getting a good push, so I will give them that, but it's like one good thing out of 10 billion bad things. So she will challenge Julia Hart for the TBS titles. Do you see a new champion here, or just Julia Hart?
Yeah, because they're obviously going to go, because on next pay-per-view after that is Double or Nothing at the end of May, and that's when they debut Mercedes Moné. So you have Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale for the TNT TBS title. Damn,
she's going after a mid-card title, and that's the day after King and Queen of the Ring. So, anyway, Okada, it's gone off. Okada, I cannot pronounce his first name.
Kazuchika.
Okada defends against Pac. There we go. Because Okada defends against Pac, newly won Continental.
Oh, first pay-per-view, it's going to be Okada.
This should be good. And so far, I think, this screams pay-per-view. This will be a good one, but Will Ospreay goes one-on-one with Bryan Danielson. Neither of these should be losing. Who comes out the winner?
I'm going to say Ospreay. I'd say in his last year, Danielson put him over. I'd say they're going to put Ospreay over on this one.
In a ladder match for the vacated AEW Tag Team titles, the Young Bucks, that I'll discuss about later, we'll discuss about it shortly here in news and headline. Oh, Jesus. The Young Bucks will take on FTR. So again, our tag champions here. So is it going to be FTR or the Young Bucks? Who are you picking?
I'm going to say the Young Bucks. I think it's going to be a fun match either way, but I think the Young Bucks are going over.
Tony Storm goes one-on-one with Thunder Rosa. AEW Women's Championship up for grabs. So obviously
Tony
a new
Storm
champion
retains.
here, or is it going to be any events? This is one of the matches so far. Is AEW another 50,000 matches going to get made? But play tonight, Rampage, Collision. But in your main event for the men's AEW Championship, Swerve Strickland tries to win the gold from Samoa Joe. Are you picking a new champion here or not?
I want to say Swerve because of how over Swerve is in AEW. But there is a part of me that thinks Hangman is going to return to cost him that match because he's still on the mission to stop Swerve being champion. So it's kind of hard to call at the moment. So it's kind of hard to call. I'll tell you what, I'll say Samoa Joe retains. Samoa Joe retains.
Right.
Because they'll think he's going to do it, and then Hangman costs him.
I will say that Swerve Strickland. I was just going to say he's getting a better push than WWE, but he was coming in WWE. So even if he wins the AEW title, that's not bigger than WWE. So he's getting decent treatment, but I saw something on Facebook like he'd be the Black World Champion. So Lashley, The Rock, and everybody else, Reigns, they don't count, I suppose. Farouk either. But let's finish up here. We've got plenty to talk about. So it is. Of course, in headlines, I'll start with the latest news, and that is next Friday, WWE Clash at the Castle and SmackDown combo tickets will go on sale. I'll be getting a cheap one. So if anybody's going, any watching you're going, next week, next Friday, they go on sale. I would imagine quite early. I've registered for peak pre-sale. But then so has everybody else. So that really means nothing. So yeah, they go on sale next week, next Saturday. Do you think they're going to sell well for Scotland or not?
I think it'll sell well. I think like WWE is on a hot streak at the moment. They're doing a UK. They've got a UK tour coming up, but they're on a UK tour at the moment, and which we'll see them do Belfast, and they're selling out like hotcakes.
That's good business. That's what it should be. Like when WWE says, "Oh, we've got 18 consecutive sellouts," it's like, yeah, you should do. I don't know if that's a jab to AEW, but they should be selling out.
They know what they're talking. They just getting to the point. They're selling out shows. They're on a boom period now since they haven't had that since the Attitude Era.
They should be selling. They should be selling out. Would be WWE, Impact, AEW, local indie show. The whole goal is to sell out. Some more important news. WWE cutting back on production, so you can have less production trucks and a smaller stage, which I think is great. They're saving themselves money, and this packs more people into the arenas. Fantastic.
And plus they're cutting
Genius
back on
idea.
And plus they're also cutting back on that visual stuff they had. You know, the ones that you see for Roman Reigns or Becky Lynch or the Judgment Day, they're cutting off that until the pay-per-views.
Reigns is going to have just a normal entrance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Reigns' entrance still feels above everybody else because that's how WWE want it to feel. But I think a great idea for production. They don't need to spend this money, so why spend it? Do AEW take note? Don't spend money you don't need to. Your thoughts on a smaller stage? Are you bothered how big
if
the
you want a
stage
smaller
is?
stage
Other
to get more
people?
people in, like if you want to get more people in, make the cuts that you need. Don't overspend on money and just try to gain more of an audience because that's where the money comes in.
We touched on before, but new tag team titles. So apparently, I would imagine that SmackDown are going to get new tag titles.
Oh yeah, they will.
Hopefully, they look different from Cody's title.
They'll
Hopefully,
probably
they look
be
different
painted
from
in the
Cody's
same
and
light
Eels.
as Cody. They'll probably be painted in the same light as the women's titles and the men's title are on Raw on SmackDown in some way.
It's an upgrade from the new tag titles are certainly an upgrade to look like something you'd want to win rather than just what they were. Yeah, but it
like,
could be better. It's like
on Raw, we're going to see who's going to be the number one contender on SmackDown this week. It'll be the Street Profits versus Angel and Humberto versus AOP versus New Cat Republic. More likely, Street Profits getting that shot.
Yeah. Well, are they heel or they face? Who the bloody hell knows?
They're face. Well, they were face with Bobby Lashley taking on the Final Testament, so it's still going to be face. And Waller and Theory are heels, obviously.
I don't like that you got the world title, women's world title, tag titles all looking the same, but it's an upgrade. I will give them that.
Like, obviously, they're going to call it as if they decide to do separate Raw and SmackDown shows, so they're going to obviously be called that. They're obviously going to all go by the world title, apart from if the United States or Intercontinental title gets drafted to Raw.
So, discussing the draft, Eddie will be involved. I'm going to very, very quickly go through the roster, who I would send back to NXT. Probably most of the damn roster, really, but do you think it's a good idea that people are going back to NXT or people are coming up from NXT?
Well, it does help improve people. Like, we saw what NXT did for people like Finn Balor to give him a reboot. We saw what it did to Mandy Rose. Unfortunately, she never got back to the main roster. We saw what it's done for Baron Corbin with the Wolf Dogs. Like Apollo Crews, I think it could have done more for him back when he came back, but he never got that full opportunity. So, yeah, take a few people who aren't making a big mark on the main roster and like a few people. One person I'd probably put back on it would be Mia Yim. I think that could help her and bring her back in with Gallows and Anderson. That could give her a bit of a kick. Ivar, maybe, yeah.
Very quickly here, I'm using Wikipedia, so this is just the order it's in. So, real quick, Akira Tozawa. Probably. What do you think?
Maybe, yeah, if whatever happens with this Alpha Academy angle.
Andrade, no. Apollo Crews, definitely. Do you agree with Apollo Crews?
Yeah, probably get him back that second chance.
Braun Strowman injured, apparently. Bronson Reed, I would say no. Brothers, let's see what they do with this.
Creed Brothers, because they're obviously, I think they're going to put them with Chad Gable.
Chad Gable, no. CM Punk injured. Priest is a champion. Dexter Lumis, definitely. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Give him something to do. He's doing nothing at the moment.
Dominic, no. Drew, no. Eric injured. Balor, no. Imperium, no. Ivar, if there's no plans for Eric to come back, yes, I would put him straight onto back onto NXT. JD McDonough, no. Jey Uso, no. Jinder Mahal, yes, definitely. What do you think?
If you're taking him in the Shing there, then yeah, do it.
DIY, no. Kofi, no. Miz, no. Odyssey Jones hasn't even debuted. Otis.
He's on speed, Odyssey Jones. He's on speed.
Otis, yes. What do you think? I would say yes.
If you don't put him with the new, whatever they're doing with Chad Gable, if you're not putting him in there, maybe turn him back heel. But then if not, either let him do his own thing on the main roster because he's quite over enough, or else put him on NXT.
Ricochet, no. R-Truth, Sami Zayn, no. Indusher, definitely. Rollins, no. Nakamura, ooh.
Nah,
He's
no,
not the best look. He hasn't had the best look on the main roster. What's he actually done? He's won the Intercontinental title.
There's no need to put him up on NXT. So he's done everything he can there. Let him keep trying on the main roster.
You could have him go after the title. It could be a good heel to go after Trick. Ciampa, no. Woods, no. Women, Becky Lynch, no. Candice LeRae. Okay, I'll just go to the ones that should. Okay, right, really quickly. Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, Indy Hartwell, Ivy now, no. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
Nah, they've already been there, so.
Really, like, so's Ivar and so's most of these other people, but Natalia, yes, if they've got no plans on the main roster, yes. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely put her on that.
Maxine Dupree probably needs to go back, but they probably won't. Nikki Cross, definitely. What do you think?
Those two definitely go back. Yeah, Nikki and Maxine Dupree, definitely send them back.
Nia Jax, Piper Niven, no. Raquel's injured. Rhea's injured. Shayna. No. Oh, damn. She's done much on the main roster, unfortunately.
Well, look, Queen of the Ring is coming up, so
no.
she can win that. Well, Queen of the Ring is coming up, she can win that.
You have the winner go and get a title shot, and she faces Bayley. Tegan Knox, yes. What do you think?
Yes. Doing nothing, so yes.
Apparently Trish Stratus is part of the roster. We've not seen her for months, but whatever. Valhalla, no. Xia Li, yes.
Oh, yeah, she's doing nothing.
And Zoe Stark, I'll say no. SmackDown, Styles, no. Akam and Razor. No. They're doing nothing on the main roster. Yes, I think Wilmington's coming back. I've not thought, oh, I hope you're back. Angel and Humberto or Humberto, they've just come from NXT. Street Profits, no. Ashanti the Adonis, definitely. What do you think?
Well, he's doing a tag team with Cedric Alexander, though.
What have they done? What have they done in the last 2 months?
Nothing.
They haven't come up yet,
let them start up. Just let them start up.
So him and Cedric definitely back to NXT. Theory, Waller, tag team champions. Lashley, no. Braun, no. Cameron Grimes, yes. He's done nothing on the main roster. Do you agree, Cameron Grimes?
Yeah. Possibly, yeah.
Kalito would add star power to NXT, but I'll say no. Cody's champion. Cruz del Toro and Walking Wild, no. Dragon Lee, Dragon Lee's just come from NXT. Pretty Deadly, no. The Club, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. Again, if you've got no plan on the main roster, yes, they go back to NXT. What do you think?
The Club, well, they're already on there, so probably bring Mia Yim in there with them.
They could. Karrion Kross, I say yes. He's done nothing since coming back all those months ago. He's done nout. So yeah, what do you think, Karrion Kross?
Yeah, I say probably bring him back on. Probably bring him back to NXT.
Owens, no. Logan will be huge for NXT, but no. It'll be massive. You want to talk about ratings, get Logan Paul on there, but no. In reality, no. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, no. Orton, no. Rey Mysterio, no. Apparently, The Rock is a part of SmackDown. He can go where he likes. No. Reigns, you want to talk about ratings, put Reigns on, but in reality, no. Sheamus, Solo, Tamatonga, no. Women, quick. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. they've done very little on the main roster, unfortunately. Hope they go to Raw and do something, but I'm back onto NXT. What do you think?
Which one?
Isla Dawn and Alba Fire.
No, keep them on SmackDown. I can keep them on SmackDown. They've already done the NXT run.
They've done very low. Asuka, no. B-Fab, no. Bayley, Bianca, Charlotte's injured. Dakota, no. Elektra, no. Io, Jade, Kyrie,
no.
Naomi, no. Shotzi's injured. Otherwise, I would say yes. Tamina apparently still part of the roster.
I thought you were tired.
Who knew? I didn't know. On Wikipedia, she's still part of the roster, so I'm just going off this. Tiffany no, Zelina no, and Meechin yes, and Scarlett yes. Karrion Kross. The CM Punk interview. Did you watch it with Ariel Helwani?
I've watched some of it, yeah.
And everything he said, 100% correct. Tony Khan does not want to be an owner. He doesn't want to be a boss. He wants to be everybody's friend and get on with it. And you can't be. And then the interview that Chris Featherstone, go back and watch PMP. Everybody watching right now, PMP, still go and watch it. But he played an interview by Chris Russell. I've never heard of him. But Tony Khan was on there doing an interview, totally kayfabing. God, totally kayfabing why he's short. What footage from AEW, like he totally going back and forth. He said that apparently the Young Bucks couldn't pray, and that's why they didn't give the 100% and shake hands with.
I heard about that. Yeah, clutching at straws.
FTR, and then it wasn't that. It was no, the Young Bucks showed it because there was a dark. So so Tony Khan is putting over the darkness, and so it wasn't. They didn't know. So which is it? Is it they're showing this footage because they're now dark? So after the Sting thing, they've gone dark, or is it because? So and probably all day they couldn't relax for their match. It happened during the show. So, and then Tony, this bit was funny. Tony Khan saying, "Don't forget, I've got Rampage coming up." And Russell was like, "Yeah, whatever. Let's wrap up this interview." That wouldn't happen with Vince McMahon. That wouldn't happen with Eric Bischoff. It just shows what the world thinks about Tony Khan. And then he said the most markish thing ever. Well, All In drew the most fans ever. It didn't. Everybody knows it didn't. But Tony Khan thinks it did. So Tony Khan is doing all of this and just kayfabing the whole lot. So making himself look like the joke clown. Making him look like the clown that he is. And this is why, if I'm going to sum up AEW in one word, and that one word is crap. To do
Sorry, what? You've already given your Have you heard any interviews Tony Schiavone has done in relation to the embarrassed look he made after the video played and everyone thought he was embarrassed to be there, but he ended up defending it and told people not to compare AEW to WCW?
No. But real quick, I'll do AEW doing matches, but the matches on their pre-show is a good idea, but who's it actually pulling in? You're not going to stumble over AEW because Tony Khan doesn't want it to grow. How many of these wrestlers go out and do interviews? None. You see WWE wrestlers doing interviews all the time because they're putting the word out there, they're making it grow. You're not going to very, very unlikely to stumble over an AEW pre-show. So it's a good idea, but who's actually watching? And like I've said, Willow Nightingale, Swerve Strickland getting a nice push, but outside of that, I've been struggled to find anything good that they do. They cater to the audience, and Tony Khan gave him the whole thing, has just made him look like a clown. Yeah. The QR code shown on Raw. So we all know, well, this is leading to obviously Uncle Howdy, but it's very, very interesting. If you really look into all of this, it's very, very interesting. So what you saw on Raw is a sign of Pluto, and Pluto's a god of afterlife, and so that will be Bray Wyatt. The bird that you saw, the night bird, may very well be Alexa Bliss, because they showed off, and I'll show this picture, something.
Well, apparently it's not just them that could be
wrestling fans, and they really.
It's not just them it could be leading to. You could be getting.
It's something and nothing.
But you could also be getting, like, there's talk of Braun Strowman joining it. Eric Rowan has been taken off many independent dates, so that's a sign he's coming back. There's also rumors of Broken Matt Hardy joining the faction as well. Like, the Alexa Bliss one's possible because No, you first.
Because the code, if you go onto the code, it's broken, and Matt Hardy shared it out. That might be something and nothing. That he might not be coming back at all. He might be signing with AEW, go back to Impact, whatever.
No, he's not signing again with AEW. But he's left AEW.
People are saying he's got sense. If Jeff Hardy's still there, he needs to have sense as well.
His contract got extended because of injuries and the whole
people are reading. So people are reading into it that Matt Hardy's involved in this. Again, if you read the text, again, very interesting. There's a lot of hidden text, and it says they didn't want us. So who are they? So who are they? So they're Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, people that got released, and this show, again, this may very well be something and nothing, but people are reading into it. So
Alexa Bliss returning next week.
So the Fireflies, they could be round, could be, and the air right there could be Alexa. That might be something and nothing. It's just
it's in her hometown next week.
And the image that got shown of the guy, and it was like I've not got the image now, but I might try and find it. But there was a guy, kind of a Greek god, and he was like a spotlight.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I think I know.
So what that is, it's so that is that guy is looking at a bird on the cave that he perceives as reality. But what Pluto did, again, in Greek mythology, if you're into Greek mythology, you'll know about this, but apparently Pluto escaped, one of the prisoners escaped the cave, went to the real world, went back to tell people what it was all about. And of course, Uncle Howdy is going to come in and try and save us, and he's all out of this rain. So yeah, it looks like it is Uncle Howdy, obviously, and the earring that Bo Dallas wore at the Hall of Fame, that's the symbol of Pluto. So it looks like this is Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy. Alexa Bliss could be involved, or Rick Rowan, Matt Hardy, and Braun Strowman. So if you really look into all of this, and be all available, obviously on Google, really interesting. So yeah, it may like I said, what I've just shown, maybe Alexa Bliss, may not be. Next week is her hometown, Columbus, Ohio. Does she return and win it? Did he return it that early? Also, next week is 5 years since the debut of the Firefly Funhouse. People are reading into that as well.
Oh, yes.
So all of this so if you look at every last little bit, it all comes together.
Yeah, it does add up. It does add up. It definitely does.
If you look at it all and think, they've done this, they've done that, and it's very, very clever. And like I said, only people like me want to know more about it, and only people like me notice it and go, "Oh, what was that?" And I'll find out what it is. Like I said, you'll have people that don't care. And the final piece of news here is, of course, and I saved the best till last. It's our
the Roman Reigns movie.
Tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, is now a movie. Well, he was a movie star, but he's making a movie with Pete Lauren Parker, whoever that is. He's making a movie with Keanu Reeves. I think he might not be a small part. But this is a start for him going into Hollywood. Yeah, that's a great picture as well. Surrounded by
he definitely looks very
surrounded by money.
He looks very gangster.
It looks like that woman's holding a belt, so it looks like he's some sort of champion. I just hope that they have him say, "Acknowledge me." That would be awesome.
It does. I hopefully I'm hoping we get to see over there see on a streaming platform. Anyway, shall we wrap things up?
Am I tempted to go to the cinema to watch it because it's got Reigns in? I don't know. Maybe, possibly.
I'm sure you'll reserve a special seat for it.
But yeah, the head of the table. But yes, do everybody join me on Sunday for Dinner State Watch Along, and you'll get my predictions then. And imagine, like I said, more matches were made tonight on Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. There'll be another 2 million matches made. Pre-show. Join me for that. And so buy-in, pre-show, same thing. Also, really quickly, I will be at LWF Slamaganza on this Saturday, 5th anniversary, their biggest show of the year. So if any of you here are watching and you see me there, come and say hello. But everybody else will be next week. And like I said, next Friday, WWE Clash at the Castle SmackDown combo tickets go on sale. I would imagine it's early. So yeah, a very cheap one. But tonight, from the Golden One and the Wise Man, it is good night. Acknowledge, electrify, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.
And finish the story.
This is not a Cody Rhodes podcast. He's finished the story, and Cody Rhodes is bland as they come. But okay. So yes, I found the outro. Like, subscribe, acknowledge, and electrify. And I played Healy for